Welcome to Legal Masterminds at Law Leaders. I'm your host, Dustin Ruge, and today we're welcoming back Matt Thielen, who is the CEO of AttorneyShare, to talk about some of the major changes in the system, especially for law leaders, members, attorneys. Matt, welcome back.
Thanks for having me again. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, Matt, we started working together on this project over about 3 months ago. And when
Yep.
we saw how valuable your system was, especially for attorney management, and how that ultimately fit into our mission statement. And, at Law Leaders, for example, our mission is to identify, promote, and connect the top attorneys nationwide. So, one of the things, for example, this year, we've identified the top 10% of attorneys, about 144,000 currently in the US market. We have a number of ways in which we promote our members through various services, both locally and nationwide. But connecting attorneys has always historically been a challenge. And oftentimes we find attorneys are relying on antiquated things like, Excel spreadsheets and even Outlook, which basically a lot of attorneys don't even read that much anymore. They're checking their emails. But they also rely on things like consumer research and websites, which often fail to distinguish, facilitate, and track good attorney referrals. And that's why I was so excited when I saw your system originally and the capabilities you can provide to fill that gap, especially for our members, but also for all attorneys nationwide. I believe the last time I looked at the data, and nobody knows exactly, but there's roughly about 1 million attorney referrals that take place nationwide. Is that correct?
That sounds about right. Yeah. And again, the data is a little hard to come by
Right.
simply because people aren't very forthcoming with that information, but it is in the tens of billions of dollars a year annually as well.
Wow, that's fantastic. Well, obviously, we've adopted your system, and for those who might not be familiar yet with AttorneyShare, what you do, maybe you could give us just a little bit of background again about what it is. We'll also have a link to our previous overview that we conducted about 3 months ago, and then we'll talk about some of the new features and functionality that you've deployed within the system. Does that sound good?
That sounds great.
All right, very
Yeah,
good.
so again, thanks for having me here. And again, I'm Matt Thielen from AttorneyShare. At AttorneyShare, our whole goal is to make the process of sending referrals more efficient for attorneys and to create more transparency within the referral process. Everything we've designed on our platform is with those two major principles in place. And so the way we went about that is to create a system that allows for you to either send or to receive a referral easier. And then specifically over the past couple of months, as Dustin mentioned, we wanted to create more trust and transparency in the referral process so that you could have a high degree of confidence in who you were partnering with on your case. At AttorneyShare, we really value not only efficiency, but also a high level of integrity and credibility. And so that was it, that's at the core of everything we've built here. We identified really the three major pain points of referrals. The first was that the process of shopping a referral can be extremely time consuming. If I have a case I think I want to send to Dustin, or I think Dustin will be interested in, it takes me 10, 15 minutes to text him, give him all the details. I have to wait for his response. And if he doesn't want it, I'm back at square one. And so that is an extremely inefficient process. And it takes a lot of time and it disservices both me as the referring attorney, but also the client. The other major issue we identified is that if I don't have a great referral network, sometimes finding the right attorney for a specific case isn't as easy as it should be. There's no great way to reach out to attorneys in other jurisdictions or other practice areas unless you have a really strong referral network. And then finally, once a referral is made, really managing and tracking that referral can be extremely difficult and really hard to know what is happening with those individual cases unless there's a way to provide transparency, which is what we've done at AttorneyShare. And so I think with that, Dustin, let's jump right into the platform and I could show you some of the new features that we've recently released, highlighting these communities like law leaders and providing additional trust and transparency within the referral ecosystem.
Okay,
So
excellent.
what we call this feature set is affiliations. And the whole thought process behind affiliations is it allows you to leverage your own existing legal communities to create referral networks and facilitate referrals within those communities. So, for example, law leaders, we've partnered with your organization to provide additional opportunities for your members to send and receive cases. And the way we've done that is we've released several specific features. First, we've created a network system where you can select law leader members more efficiently and add them to your direct referrals. And I'll walk you through that process in just a moment. But we've also created special badging on the platform that shows how to highlight other law leader members or other organizations that you might be a part of to really put the fact that you are in that top 10% of attorneys in the country at the forefront. So when you are either sending or seeking referrals, other attorneys know that you've met certain criteria and qualifications required to be a law leaders member and provides additional credibility in the referral process. We've also allowed enhanced filtering on our marketplace product so that you can specifically work with other law leader members if that's something that is of interest to you. If you want to find cases that are being referred by the law leaders community, you're able to do that. And importantly, we're providing law leaders or law leaders members early access to specific cases. So if I'm a law leaders member and I want to make sure that other law leaders members have the opportunity to review these referrals first, they will have the opportunity to do that in the platform. And finally, because you guys have been such good partners to us, we want to provide significant discounts to you as well. And I'll walk through the whole pricing of the platform in just a moment. But
Perfect.
I think it'd be great just to kind of walk through some examples here because it's a little bit easier to see visually than for me to explain. But if I'm creating a case and I want to send a referral out, I can click into the create a case page here, and I scroll down to our Waterfall Referrals, which is the automated sequencing system we've developed so that I could send referrals easier to other attorneys. And I can assign this referral to specific attorneys. And since I'm a law leaders member and I want to make sure that other law leaders members have first look, what I can do is I can create a referral, or create a waterfall of Justin, Howard, and Jason here, where they will see this referral in order first before anyone else does. So this case will first go to Justin, then it will go to Howard, then it will go to Jason. And that way, if I put a high emphasis on the quality of law leader attorneys, that way I can make sure that they are getting the first look at this case to make sure that the referral goes to the best attorney for that individual case. Now, I
Right.
remember we talked about this a little bit last time, but you could create as many of these waterfalls as you want. You could pre-populate them and save them. So I could have Justin, Howard, and Jason be my Illinois waterfall recipients for whatever practice area that those attorneys work in to make sure that all of my referrals in that practice area, in that jurisdiction, go to this waterfall first.
Nice.
Now, beyond that, say I'm looking for a case and I want to find cases that have been referred by attorneys in law leaders. I can click this law leader filter here on the marketplace, and this will show me only cases sent into the marketplace by other law leader members. Now, if you remember, the way to think about the marketplace is that it's eBay for referrals. And if I'm a law leaders member and I happen to be in California, there's this personal injury case in California. It looks like the PC fell off of a ladder here. Um, Not a ton of details in this one, but it provides a brief description of what the case was. I can see that I was referred by a law leader member here, and I can see that the referring attorney wants 33%. So I could click into this, decide whether or not I want to maybe submit it for 25%. And the referring attorney has discretion on whether or not he wants to accept that 25% and work with me on this case. Now, on the flip side, the referring attorney will also get a notification that I sent in a proposal, and he'll be able to see that that proposal was sent by a law leader member. So he'll know that a high quality attorney is sending a proposal on his potential case and have that comfort that I have met the criteria of being a law leader member and able to decide whether or not he wants to work with me. And then finally, the other thing I wanted to touch on is my network. If I want to see who the other attorneys are within a specific jurisdiction that are law leader members, I can either search by this directory or I could search by the affiliation itself. So if I want only law leader members, I could go into the member directory and see who else is in the attorney share platform that is also in law leaders. And in addition, I could search by California law leader members. Why is this not working? Oh yeah, this is working. Yeah, so we just have a lot of law leader members in California. Um, and so you could see that we have a very healthy network of law leader members in California itself, and I could decide who I want to work with on specific cases based on practice area or firm. Now, the best thing about attorney share, in my opinion, is the pricing. So if you look at our pricing here, attorney share is free to join. We never take a cut of attorneys' fees. And so there's no house rake or anything like that. And it's always free for referring attorneys. So if I'm sending a case out into the marketplace or if I'm sending it directly to another law leaders member, it's free. On the recipient side, if I'm a law leaders member and another law leaders member sends me a case directly, it's free again. So essentially, what we've done is we've created a free marketplace for referrals for the law leaders community on Attorney Share. The only time anybody pays anything is if I am shopping a case off of the marketplace and I end up signing it. Only if I end up signing it, I pay a one-time fee of $2.99. Better yet, for you guys, since you guys have been such good partners to us, we've actually provided additional discounted pricing on the Attorney Share platform for even the $2.99. So in the short term, through the end of May, you will receive a 50% discount. So it ends up being about $150 per signed case. And beyond May, it will be a 10% discount from there. So it's around $270 per case per signed case on the attorney share platform.
Right.
So a phenomenal deal for all of your members.
And Matt, for those people that might not be familiar, so just because you accept a case doesn't necessarily mean you're obligated to pay that, right? You've got about a 30-day period where you can then vet the case out to determine whether or not you wish to sign it. Only at that point do you need to pay a fee, correct?
That's exactly right. Yeah. So there's what we call an escrow period, and it depends on practice area. We're actually shortening that 30-day period because it's in the benefit of the referring attorney to make sure that those cases are being worked and properly and that the client's being contacted in a reasonable manner. But it will remain an escrow period where if you submit a proposal, it's accepted. I don't pay anything until I mark that case as signed. And so again, it is not simply you pay just to look at the case. You pay only if you sign the client.
Right, exactly. And one of the things that, again, to reiterate what's so valuable about this new integration, this new service, is that oftentimes attorneys will get referrals outside of their market. So if I'm in Phoenix, for example, and if I have a client that says, "Hey, do you know a really good family law attorney or a med mal attorney or things like that in Dallas?" Historically, that's always been a challenge for attorneys because unless you know those people in those markets, you don't know who a good or bad attorney is in that market. And then more importantly, when you send that referral through, you want to get the maximum amount of value out of that referral. So you don't want to just send it to any attorney. Typically, you want to send it to the best attorney. That's how a lot of attorneys share referrals to begin with. So the badging, the affiliation is so critical. It's so important because you know that Law Leaders has already vetted these attorneys. You know that they're high caliber attorneys. And then because you're sending those to people, we're actually facilitating a process for you that otherwise was unknown and now is trackable as well in one system. And that's why it's fantastic. And the other cool thing, Matt, that I wanted to bring up about this affiliation is that when you sign on to Attorney Share the first time, of course, it's a free service, as we talked about a moment ago. But when you sign on, we've already preloaded all of our law leaders designees for 2025, all 144,000 into the Attorney Share system. So not only does it know who you are and assign you a badge immediately, but more importantly, it also applies those discounts without you having to put any type of discount or coupon code on or anything. You will actually know based upon your designation, the system will know who you are and to apply those discounts to you, as Matt had talked about earlier.
That's exactly right. It doesn't require any additional work for you. We've built in the badging, we've built in the discounts. There's no additional promo codes or information that you need to provide. So the minute you sign up for Attorney Share, all that information will be pre-populated into your profile.
That's
And to your
fantastic.
point, if you got, so back to your example, here's a family law case. Say I got a family law case and I don't know who I want to send that case to in California. It's a California case, it's family law. I don't know who to send it to. I can actually just log in here and say, oh, well, James is in Law Leaders. He must be a spectacular attorney. If he is, I'm going to invite him to this case directly. And I could drop down which case it is and send him an invite, and he'll be notified that I'm trying to send him a referral and that I'm a Law Leaders member. So it really facilitates that process and creates a lot of trust within the ecosystem, which, again, as I said at the beginning of the podcast, that's really the core of everything we're trying to do is create trust and transparency in the referral process.
Nice. Excellent. Now, Matt, I think you guys also had released some updated analytics data too. Is that
We
correct?
have. That's absolutely right. And so if you look here, sorry, I'm getting the zoom. If you look at the what we call the dashboard, you can actually see who top partners are within individual jurisdictions, individual practice areas. You can see what is happening with your specific cases. In the next several weeks, we will be providing real-time case status updates so that you will be able to understand what is happening with the case that you referred out. But for example, I could see in this case, in this dashboard that I referred, this case was posted on July 10th. It was signed on July 16th. And that pretty soon you'll be able to click into this case and see, okay, what is happening with this case? What is where is the status of this case and what is happening to it. You could also see where what practice areas you're sending the cases out, what your signed rate is, your match rate is. You can see your average referral fee for those particular cases. You could also, if you click into individual cases, you could see the fee sharing agreement that was signed. Here's one example. This case, here's the fee sharing agreement so that I know exactly who the case was, who came from, who it went to, what the economics of the referral are. Again, creating trust and transparency within this referral process. And then from there, I can also provide information around, and like I said, pretty soon we'll be providing information around what the case status is. Since this case happened last summer, I want to know what's happening. I don't want to have to reach out directly to Tate for an update here, but I want to be able to log in and give either my client or my firm an update on what's happening with this referral. I'll be able to do all of that from the Attorney Share platform.
Yep. And that analytics and dashboard is so critical because it's, a lot of attorneys that I know infrequently send referrals out, right? It doesn't happen every day that you're in Phoenix and you get a referral to
That's
Dallas,
right.
for example, or somewhere of that nature. So they don't usually have systems in place to track this. Oftentimes it's just an email and then good luck and hopefully it works out, right?
That's right.
Now the ability
If
to
they
be able to,
remember.
if they
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
exactly. But the analytics platform, and that's why I love the dashboard, is it's already pre-configured for you. So you don't have to really create a new system or process for this. It already exists within the system and it's free, right? And it's an
Right.
easy way for you to be able to any one time go in there to be able to check the status of any one of your referrals that you've sent out. So fantastic. It's really
Yeah.
nice.
And then, as I mentioned, in about 2 weeks, the other thing that's going to start happening is if we don't have an update on a case for whatever reason, if we can't automatically pull it from the case management system, or if the attorney hasn't provided, the recipient attorney hasn't provided an update, we're going to start auto-generating requests for case status updates so that you don't have to do those follow-up emails once a month, once a quarter, and say, hey, Dustin, I sent you 10 cases last year. Can I get an update? Where are we at with XYZ clients? the platform will do that automatically for you. So you don't need to kind of create that additional manual work for you or your firm.
Right. Now, if I refer out a case, Matt, to another law leaders member in like Omaha or something like that, they sign it up and they resolve the case. That payment then is made directly from the attorney to the referrer, correct?
That's correct. We
Okay.
do plan on supporting payment processing through the platform eventually. It's just there's a lot to build, and that we haven't quite gotten to that one yet.
Understood. Yeah, there's a lot to do here. Yeah, no, I get it. Well, you guys have accomplished a lot already. This is fantastic. So basically, just to reiterate what we're talking about, if you are a law leaders designated member, and or if you don't know if you're a law leaders designated member, we'll have a link below in the description so you can search and find yourself in our database. If you are already preloaded into Attorney Share. And then we will also provide a link below for you to be able to click to be able to sign up for Attorney Share for free. Sign up in the system, give it a try, start looking through the marketplace and for the cases and clients. And again, have the confidence in knowing that there are other really good quality attorneys on the system now. And you can do that through simple badging. And Matt, can you just show again real quick where they would see a badging around an attorney when they're either looking through the system or in the marketplace or anything of that nature?
Absolutely. So if you go in here, you can see that there's currently 62 cases in the marketplace from law leader members
Okay.
that are looking for a home right now. You can click into here and you'll see, sorry, it shows a few different places, but you could show here, it says this case was referred by a JHQ and law leader member. And you click into the case and you can see the badging up here as well. And it
Okay.
shows exactly where it came from. And then, as I mentioned, if I'm sending a proposal as a law leaders member, the referring attorney will be notified as well that I'm a member of law leaders.
Excellent. Very good. Well, these are fantastic updates, Matt. That's why I was excited to show everybody what you worked on here. We, of course, will be pushing this out quite prominently to our members and making sure that we get as many people signed up in the system as possible. The other question I would have for you, Matt, would be if I'm an attorney locally in market and I've got like my Rolodex, right? It's the usual thing I'm used to seeing, which is if
Yeah.
I ask attorneys who are you referring cases to, they usually have a stack of business cards in their desk. What
Yep.
what can you do for them, even if they're known people that they're otherwise just doing through their stack of cards on their desk type situations? I mean, why would this be helpful for them as well, even if they know who the people are they're referring to?
Yeah, I think it's really two things. It is the waterfall referrals automation that we discussed previously. So you might have your stack of cards, business cards of potential, or you might have your network of referral partners, but you still have to go through the process of
Right.
referring those cases out. And something we didn't really touch on today, but we did last time we spoke, is we have integrations with most major case management systems. So you can automatically export a matter from Clio Grow or MyCase or Litify or Lead Docket into Attorney Share. So you don't manually have to do that process at all. It will automatically come into the platform, and then you could automatically send it to your existing referral network through our Waterfall referral system. And again, that's free for all the parties involved. So that you don't have to shop the case. And it lets you both send it to multiple people. So I could send it to 3 or 4 people if I wanted to. Say
And
I
I
want
think that's a critical distinction right there too, because oftentimes if you send a referral out, what if somebody's on vacation for a week or two or whatever, and
exactly.
how did that fall, to the next people that you have in your referral network you would otherwise send it to?
So,
Yeah.
for example, say I want to give, I have an MBA in Texas, and I want to give it 24 hours. I'm going to send it to Steve Kirker first, then Jim Purdue, then Brett Turnbull. If Steve doesn't respond in 24 hours, it will automatically push to Jim, and then automatically push to Brett, so that I don't have to shop that case over and over again. Or if
Right.
Steve says he doesn't want the case, automatically pushes to Jim. And the beautiful thing about that is that it saves me time and energy of shopping this case. And then the other thing we didn't touch on is that say this it falls all the way through the waterfall, or say that this is just a one person waterfall in let's just say South Carolina. Say I want to send this case to someone in South Carolina. I'm gonna send it to Gus first because I like working with Gus. Gus is the business card I have on my desk for this practice area in South Carolina. Um, but Gus doesn't want it. Usually, what happens in that scenario is that I lose out on that potential referral fee. The client doesn't get representation. It's a whole mess for everyone involved. what happens in our system is if Gus doesn't want it, it just then pushes into the marketplace. So then you have all of the attorneys in South Carolina that are in that practice area that might want to take a look at that case, potentially more eyeballs on your referrals, and to have a lower percentage of these cases go to zero, and a lower percentage of clients being told, sorry, I can't help you. I don't know anyone in that practice area or jurisdiction.
Yep.
So that's the first reason you would do this instead of the traditional phone call, text message, email through business cards.
Well, the other benefit too is if I'm in market and I usually send my cases to Gus, but I
Yep.
don't know who some of the other attorneys are that are good there. When you show it all the members there, again,
Yep.
you can see through the badging who are the good
Exactly.
attorneys in your marketplace, so you can confidently pick other people beyond Gus when those situations happen, Matt. Yeah.
That's exactly right. And you could see here that the badging also provides, so I can see that they're law leaders members. So what I could do is be like, I usually send my cases to Gus, but if Gus doesn't want it, I'll add Patrick and I'll add Randall here so that I know that it's going to go to a law leaders member first. And then
Right.
if they don't want it, it'll still go to the marketplace. Again, saving me time and really reducing the likelihood that that case goes to zero without multiple qualified attorneys getting eyeballs on it.
Yep.
So that's reason number one why we encourage people to not continue to use the business cards and not continue to do phone call, text message, emails. And remember, all of this is free, so there's no additional cost for anyone. The other reason is what we talked about before, the data and analytics. I could start, if cases that are sent through the platform, I could start to see how individual attorneys are performing. So I could see that Patrick is signed one of the 7 cases I sent him. Is that good? Is that bad? It's kind of on me to decide, but it really allows me to start understanding how my referral partners are performing. Should I be sending more cases to Patrick or more cases to someone else? And really helps me build out a better understanding of how my referral portfolio is being handled. We're the update I mentioned that in about 2 weeks, we're going to also provide what is the aging on a particular referral. So if I sent it to Patrick 2 months ago, how long is he taking to work that case up, to really get a result, to get a settlement, to get it signed, all those things? Is he communicating with the client on an effective manner? I can start to really evaluate this portfolio of referrals in a much more nuanced and analytical way, as opposed to here's an email with the PC's info and I'll talk to you again in 6 months kind of thing.
Right. Excellent. Well, this is fantastic. So just to reiterate for everybody who's listening right now, if you're not on Attorney Share and you're an attorney, if you're one of the 1.2 million attorneys in the United States, sign up. It's free. Jump into the system today. If you're a Law Leaders member, you're already preloaded into the system. All you have to do is log in, create a profile, and start using the system, start getting your added discounts, and knowing that you can now network more effectively with other members throughout the nation, both in a client referral basis as well as a management of how you actually do your distribution of referrals. So this is all great, Matt. Thank you for showing this. We're excited to get these new features out. We're announcing this, I think, officially tomorrow, right?
Yep.
So all this is going to be hitting the wires here shortly. So by the time this is out, this will be fully released, and we look forward to getting everybody on board. Again, we have links accompanying this video below, so feel free to click on the links to sign up or to check your membership designation status, and then start using Attorney Share. It's a fantastic system. Matt, this is great. Thank you again for showing us all these updates, and we'll look forward to having you back again for additional, I guess, features and functionality as your system continues to roll out.
We've got a lot more coming up over the next couple of months, so stay tuned. And like I said, appreciate you guys working with us. Appreciate the support, and we're here to support you as an organization as well. So please, we encourage any feedback. If you have any questions, you could go to attorneyshare.com. We have FAQs. The affiliations page provides all the details specific to your organization. And as Dustin mentioned, it's free to join. There's no cost, there's no risk. So I encourage everyone to sign up and poke around and take a look and see what we've built.
Great. Well, thank you again, Matt. I appreciate your time today. It was great talking to you, and thank you for watching this video. If you like this channel, please subscribe on YouTube, and thanks for watching.